Hello everybody and welcome back to my Undertale playthrough. Now, we're in an interesting predicament, because basically, I just had two recordings without the mic. So, luckily the only thing I was talking about, outside apparently the fact that if you're to close down the game and come back to it, they have you go through all of the dialogue. But other than that, basically we've been stuck at Undyne. So, but the thing is that I was talking about something in particular. The fact my truck, and I basically had a 40 to 50 hour ordeal. So the basic idea was that I went down to go see some family. So I go down, and it's like, I'm planning on taking the truck down. So I can go ahead, drive down for a 12-hour trip, about a 3-hour drive down, 3-hour drive back, and spend some time there and all that. I only plan on getting some lunch, dinner, and then heading home. Though it turned out it's going to be breakfast and dinner. And just getting a bit of gas. So I only had give or take 100 old bank. I go down. I'm pretty much in the city that I need to be in. It's towards the end of the journey. But I had decided to go to one of the parks in the city. Because I'd been there 3 years ago, so I was I'm gonna go actually see it. Well, while I was in the middle of the scenic part of the park, the driver's side lower ball bearing, or ball joint, basically one of the things that was supporting my driver's side driver's side front tire basically was hey, you know what'd be a good thing to do now? Go ahead and brake. So basically, my truck broke down in the middle of the park. Bit of an issue, but no brainer. We'll just go ahead, we'll get a tow truck, go to the shop. Well, because of how the park is, where I was on the maps was technically closer to somewhere in the next town over than where I actually was, or in the actual town I was initially in. So it's okay, great. So outside of the maps basically being hey, have you ever figured out how to actually find where you are? Oh yeah, you're in the next town over. I was able to get the tow truck driver over there. Again, so this happened, whole ordeal. I headed out around 9 a.m. So I was down in the city at around noon. Okay, truck breaks down just past noon. So it's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get a truck out here. It's gonna be about 2 hours before they get here. And then I can go ahead and finally start heading in the direction of the shop. Well, truck gets there, we get over to the shop. We get at the shop around just past, say, 3 or so. It's okay. Well, we'll be able to go ahead and get the thing, start to get worked on, right? No, all their bays are used up, and they don't expect to even be able to get to look at it for an estimate. Mind you, they said that day they close at 6 p.m. and they would open at 8 a.m. So it's okay, I'm expecting them to give me a call tomorrow to go ahead and give me an estimate so that they can start finally working on the truck. Go ahead and call up my family, say, hey, yeah, my truck broke down. I'm over at this shop. Can I get a ride to you guys' place? Like, yeah, sure. They're coming over here right now. So they get there. They go ahead and they pick me up. Of course, that thing was a whole ordeal. Because apparently where I was over a toll bridge, which meant they had to go ahead and pick up one of the vehicles that was that somebody had used to go to work with, which meant, okay, so we gotta go pick that up, and then we gotta go ahead and pick you up. So that was about an hour or so. And then, you know, I drove them home, which was fine. I don't mind driving. I've only been driving for a month. I actually really enjoyed the actual practice. Because, like I said, I've only been driving for a month, so I don't have all that much experience in terms of driving. So, we go ahead, we get back. And, mind you, again, I wasn't expecting to get a call until the day after. Well, it turns out the shop called me at around 5:17. It's like, okay. So yes, they have an estimate, but because they called me at 5:17, I was driving. So then when I look at my phone to see, hey, I got a call, it's 6:17. They closed at 6. So it's like, okay, great. So, instead of having the possibility of the truck being worked on tomorrow, I had to go ahead and wait the whole time between, you know, the closed to open, which is like, okay, I guess I can't even expect the truck to be maybe finished or fixed tomorrow. So it's like, okay, I'll go ahead and book a train up to going home, because I have to go take care of my cat. So I go ahead and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go home. And remember, I had about only $100 in my wallet. Because again, I wasn't expecting to be down there more than 12 hours. So it's like, okay. So it's like, this going up cost me $30, which means it's gonna cost me about 30 going down. Or going back down. Anyway, so yeah, so it's like, okay, great, I'll stay the night, and they want me to be there at about 10 a.m. or so to go get on the train, so we were going to head out at 10 a.m. So the next day comes, I go ahead, I call up the place, the shop, and they're like, yeah, we just opened, and we don't have an estimate for it, even though they did have an estimate. So the way it works, to my knowledge, is that when an estimate is issued, it is the particular person. So that meant I had to have somebody else check out the truck, get an estimate taken care of, and then offer me the estimate. So it's like, okay, great. So they call me about 9. It's like, yep, I'm fine with it. About 260. So it's like, it's a fair fix. But then it's like, okay, well now that that's taken care of, and I know the truck won't be fixed, I have to get on the train. So about, you know, go down around 10. Of course, at 8, I had breakfast. Just a bowl of cereal. Nothing too much. Get to the train station. It is about 10:30 a.m. The train is supposed to be there at around 10:50. Okay. Yeah, not a reasonable amount of time to wait, but that's fine. Well, it turned out the train was delayed. So instead of being there at 10:50 going on the train to the connecting station, we were stuck waiting for the train to get there. Which meant I had to wait. It's like the whole time we're on the train, the conductor's like, well, yeah, you'll be late to the bus, but the bus should wait for you. So it's like, okay, we'll get there, we'll get on the bus as soon as possible, then we'll be going up. Yeah, we get there, and it turns out the bus left because we were there at 12 12:45 when we were supposed to be there at 12:15. So it's like, okay, great. But I'm going to continue this in the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in and all that jazz. Like and subscribe and comment down below. Other than that, have a great day.